today we're going to be looking over the new operation that's dropped, the Broken Fang. So first, what I want to go over though is I'm using HLTV for this, for the breakdown of what actually has changed in this update. So we're looking at obviously the Broken Fang operation has been added, and I kind of like the stats page. Stats page is quite accurate. It's something we've used quite a lot with like CSGO stats and stuff like that when that was still relevant. So it's good we now have this inbuilt stats page, which is quite handy. Then, or I'm not sure what weapon collections really have like a huge impact, but definitely missions and maps change things up a bit, and some of the agents that I'll get to in a sec really look quite cool. So gameplay, obviously the Premier mode, which is looking at the pick ban system, quite like what you have in I think League of Legends, so that's quite good. Retakes, that's been something that's been on dedicated I think it's called domestic servers, sorry, for quite a long time. So it's good they started to implement that in the game, but I think the main issue with it is it's got so much competition with these dedicated servers to retakes that it's got a competition. Dynamic ping system, to be honest, I don't entirely know what that means. We've got to see that in action to see what it feels like. Customizable chat wheel is just a spinning wheel with a lot of voice commands on it, so not a huge change. And then added a bunch of these maps to scrimmage, to deathmatch, to danger zone and stuff like that, and also some changes to cache. So actually looking at the operation itself, we look at this Premier mode here, and we have the full breakdown of all these stats here. As we can see, we've got matches played, ADR, which is average deaths per round, I do believe. No, sorry, damage per round. I know what I'm going on about. And we have our kill death. All this is valuable information, and I quite like how it gives us our accuracy, also our map win rates, preferred weapons, and we can also break it down to what looks like the accuracy per weapon as well, which would be quite nice, especially for, and our KDs as well, especially for getting that stats that have been harder and harder to come by on things like CSGO stats, and Leadify is still pretty good. I would still recommend using Leadify. And then also your standard missions that come with it. They are, I do believe, in a weekly format, like I think it's called Shattered Web was like this. There's a weekly format, updated every week, but you can still go through and do the previous weeks. So there's not really a rush in order to get the weeks done as quickly as possible. You can go back and redo them. These coins here, these actually look quite cool, especially, I assume that'd be like the platinum version. That will be really nice to get. That looks really sick. The silver as well, not so much about the gold and the bronze. I don't know, just personal preference. I either want the silver or to go for the full diamond, the full diamond. So now we're getting to the awards. So the award system will work in a similar fashion as well to Shattered Web, where we accumulate stars based off our missions, and then we get drops based on them. And some of those drops will include agents. You can have the Broken Fang case, stickers, skill groups, Havoc collection, control collection. So I've added a few more collections in terms of the skins as well, which we'll get to in a sec. So there's something for everyone. Again, the retakes have come in, and we have what we call these cards. So we're dealt with certain cards, and we have to essentially play with them quite on the retakes. So you're either taking a bomb site or defending a bomb site with the given cards, which have the given loadout, as we see here. Which is, I feel like it's a good way to shake things up a bit, especially because we haven't really had a new game mode for a while. I think the first one that really stood out was when we had Jumping Scouts. So again, here's the chat wheel. Not anything spectacular, anything to write home about, but it is a nice addition. So here we're looking at these rewards. On this case, the agents. So some of these agents look fairly standard, but the helmets in this case look a bit more, cartoony, a bit more animated, to be honest. But some of these don't look too different from the stuff we've got on Shattered Web until we get some of these master agents like here. Like this one, the professional. That's going to be really nice to get. Or even, again, like Sir Bloody Daryl Royale. Some of these master agents, the professionals, are really good skins here. Like, look at this. And then Superior Agent, the professionals, Safe Cracker Vaultman. That looks quite good as well. There's some I've seen some comments about this one on why he's wearing a condom on his head. But except for that one, oops, go back. Except for this one, I do quite like the skin, the agent skins. The agent skins are quite good. Then you have Little Kev, Gateway Sally. They all look quite good. This looks like one of the guys that are already in Shattered Web as well. Oh no, these guys are just the Shattered Web guys. But they look slightly different, I think. There's definitely more variety. I think that's what's changed. There's definitely a wider variety. So what's this here? This is the actual case. So let's start from the top, I suppose. Now, this I do believe, yeah, the paint stream. This is going to be the paint stream collection. The guy who made this, he's absolutely amazing. Like the deagle that he created with the pearlescent on there, and now with this M4A1S, these skins are actually beautiful. And then the Neo Noir Glock as well. I think that's been requested for quite some time. Cybersecurity M4A4, that actually looks really cool as well. I like the vibrant colors on that. The Monster Mashup, these are actually some really good skins up at the top end. Fairy Tail, again, looks quite vibrant, quite unique. And even this, getting down to the purples, we're still looking at some decent quality skins. Like these are, like this one right here, the Parallax. That looks like it could be a classified skin, like a red. Even these Julies still look really nice. That looks like the old Complexity logo as well. Again, the Orb, the Exoskeleton, I actually don't mind it. The Clear Polymer still looks really good as well. Condition 0, now we get to those areas where these are going to drop more frequently, but still, these are quite vibrant, quite unique skins, except for this one. This one looks ugly. Like, what even is this? It just looks like you've gone to like an Age of Empires map editor and just created a bunch of dross. Contaminant. I don't know how I feel about that one. That looks pretty weird. Especially if you have like a phobia of holes, or I forgot what it's called, or like that just looks weird. Looks like inside your arteries and things. The Galil doesn't look too bad as well. Digital mesh, not really buying it to be honest. That looks pretty rubbish. So does that. I suppose this actually doesn't look too bad. If you're going for like a industrial type build, this would be quite nice. And I suppose that, oops, I think the P90 was here. In an industrial type build, that would be good as well. The stickers, we're not too fast on stickers, but you know, 16th theme stickers. Always good to have some more stuff in the game. So now we're looking at the control collection, and straight up, these skins, like, if this is the trend that we're following, these skins clearly aren't going to be as good as what's in the actual, as we see up here, the Broken Fang case. Because this Orb, straight off the bat, I don't dig it, to be honest. The Orb Fade, I don't know. The blue, that, I suppose, I could see some people liking that, like an alternative to the Hot Rod if you're going for like a blue-themed loadout. The USPS actually looks really good. That target acquired, I really like the I suppose cyan or teal, whatever you want to call it, the neon blue. Oh, that stands out quite a bit. I can see some names being made out of this one. Some memes. Berries and cherries. I don't know how I feel about that being in purple though. Especially 5.7s, because the only colour's the top bit, so I don't know how I feel about 5.7s ever really being a purple. That Famus is actually quite good. I quite like it. The one thing that annoys me about some of these, like especially the Famus, is the skin doesn't go down to the magazine and the trigger and stuff like that. And I don't know what you call this, but this section as well. Because as we see here on the DAC, it extends down to the magazine and the whole, I don't know what you call that, the hilt, whatever. The dispatch actually looks quite good for a blue. It's actually really nice. So does that Scout. Some of these, like this one right here, this is actually quite good as well. I don't understand why this is a blue, but sure. Carbon fiber. Doesn't look that great, some of these, to be honest. So, Metal Skill Group Patch Collection. Okay, so these are patches that I do believe go on the agents, if that's something you want to do. The Global Elite, it still looks cool, but the one that drew my eyes straight away was the silver one, or like the DMG looks quite cool. Or Supreme. The Global Elite, like, I don't know. Or Legendary Eagle Master looks quite cool as well. Or Legendary Eagle. There's 2 Eagle Masters. But I don't know, the Global Elite just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't stand out, I think, as much as I would have liked it to. Oh, this gun's cool. The AK X-Ray. This is definitely red quality rather than, I think, the Fade. Orb Fade is definitely not some red quality. Hot Snakes. That I could see that vibing. That's quite cool as well. I haven't had a top Mac 10 for a while since I think Neon Rider. See, that orb's a lot better than the Fade, in my opinion. The Silk Tiger. Hypnotic? See, this is another one that I reckon the skin would have been better if it went through the whole barrel as well. I reckon it would have been significantly better. The Phoenix? It's definitely an interesting, unique skin. Burial Tiger, that's really good for a blue. That's interesting one that's a blue. Oops. Guess we'll be looking at this one. The Phoenix Stencil. It doesn't really look too great. Neither does a lot of these. Now I'm just getting to the back end of that actually look quite fancy. The Phoenix marker. That looks quite cool, but I don't know many people who still use the R8. And then a lot of these skins are just your standard run-of-the-mill. Not anything to write home about. And then recoil, graffiti, and stickers. That's quite cool. Get some more personalized stickers. The Ancient Collection. Now I do believe this is the last collection in it as well. So let's just start off looking at these. Welcome to the Jungle. Man, there's so many good skins on the upper end as well. The Panthera on. I don't know how I feel about that, especially because the Jaguar already exists. The Jaguar is actually, in my opinion, quite good. What's that? Run and Hide? It's just made of hide. Yeah, some of these don't look too great. Like this, just gold brick. That's a purple. It should be a blue. Come on. Ancient Law. I can see some people liking this. I don't personally like it though. Famous Darkwater. That looks quite cool. See, that's a blue, is it? I reckon that's better than what, if we come back to here. Better than the gold brick, and the gold bricks are purple. Dusk Ruins? That actually looks quite cool as well. Like, these blues... Sorry about the birds. The birds are really annoying. Like this org right here, this green org. I mean, I don't know many people going for green builds, but, you know, it's there if you need it. See, that CZ Silver looks quite cool. Ancient Ritual. That looks quite cool as well, and that's a light blue. That's interesting. I see some people liking that. Especially that SG as well. Some people might like that as well. I personally like that a bit as well. Still a shame that the skin doesn't go over the barrel as well. It's a bit of a shame. Anyway, but my main interest that wasn't really shown in the FAQ. But what my concern is with this new pick ban system when we're looking at the... I do believe this it is, anyway. It'd be embarrassing if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I read it on the Twitter. The pick ban system, yeah, with map pool. Yeah, premium mode. So that's my main issue. Because look, available exclusively to Operation Pass. So this will be obviously implemented fully after the operation ends. I do believe April the 30th next year is the end date. I'm just concerned about how the player base is going to be split between those who actually, I think it's $20 Australian, I don't know what it is in other currencies. Oh my god, this bird. Right outside my door. With this separation of the player bases to those who have paid and can play the Premier mode, and those who can't. I would have liked a bit more overlap there rather than having this split between the player bases. Otherwise, everything else I actually reasonably enjoy, and I think it's a really good operation. So, thanks for watching. If you like my other content, or subscribe and hit the bell notification for more future content, such as a lot of playthroughs, like I'm currently playing through Prison Architect, if you want to head out to the channel and watch some of that. And also, I Twitch stream every second day. I Twitch stream on the weekends. If you want to watch me play The Division, I'm going through at the moment, or Skyrim, or getting into some of these missions on CSGO, which I probably will do later. Something I also just wanted to add was whether or not I thought this operation was worth the $20. At the moment, I don't think it is. That's just my opinion. You can go out and buy it. I don't, it's your money. But personally, I don't think we're getting $20 of content in this operation, especially because I don't know if you can just buy stars anyway, like we did the Shattered Web collection. So what I'd suggest personally is wait to the Christmas sales, which usually come sort of about 20th of December, so about 2-3 weeks from now, and then save a bit of cash. But again, it's your money.